Hey, what's up, team? It is Mr. Selby here, and today I'm going to go through the quiz for Chapter 3, Lesson 3. Okay, this is just a quiz put on by the textbook, but hopefully by me going through some of these problems, it can answer some questions you guys might have about some of these. So, yeah, we'll just go through these for a little bit. So, cycling. Fernando competed in an 80-mile bike race. Wow, that is super long. After a half hour, he had ridden 9 miles. After 1 hour riding, he had biked 18 miles. Assuming he was traveling at a constant speed, how far will Fernando have traveled after 3.5 hours? So we can look at this and we can determine that he biked 18 miles. So there's a way we can do this with slope-intercept form, and that would be 9 miles would be our y, half mile would be our x1, and this would be our y1, this would be our x2, and this would be our y2. So what we could do is we could do 18 minus 9, we would get 9, and we could do 1 minus 0.5, and we would get 0.5. So it'd be 9 over 0.5. Can't have a decimal in the denominator, so we'd have to multiply the whole thing by 0.5 to get 18 miles per hour, right? So essentially, at 18 miles per hour is how much he's riding. But we could just kind of look at this and say after 1 hour, he's biked 18 miles. So he's biking 18 miles an hour, right? He's traveling 3.5 miles. So what we do is we do 18 times 3.5, which I know it's 63. But if you have a calculator, you should definitely use it, okay? Use your tools. Use your tools. All right. So which graph shows a line with an undefined slope? Remember, undefined slope, slope is steepness. So an undefined slope is the slope where it's like you can't go up it. It's impossible, right? I guess you could if you're a rock climber because it's a straight line. It's like a wall. That's an undefined slope right behind me. Do you guys see it? It's undefined. Like I can't walk up it. I'm not Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man's like the only person who can walk up that wall, okay? Maybe the Flash. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know. But let's focus on this. Okay, so this does not have an undefined slope because it's flat. It's 0. There's no slope. There's no steepness. You're walking on flat ground. So it's definitely not A. B looks promising as in it's definitely the right answer because as you can see, that's undefined. Like you can't walk up that. That's Spider-Man category. Okay, this is like a negative slope because as you can see, you're like walking downhill. Like it's negative steepness. Like if somebody's like, hey, how steep is that hill up there? But you're like down there. All right. D, on the other hand, all about steepness, very steep, okay? That's the type where you're like out of breath at the end and everybody's like, oh, Mr. Selby, why are you out of breath? That was only 35 miles. Or it felt like 35 miles. So it was really only like 100 feet. But unfortunately, we're not here to talk about my cardio. Instead, we're here to select B as the correct answer. Hopefully. We'll have to double check all of these because 63 could be wrong. B could be wrong. Who even knows? You would think it'd be the teacher, the guy who teaches this, and the guy who took this quiz before to make sure he got all the right answers. Okay? But even Mr. Selby makes mistakes even though he already took the quiz before and got all of them right. Okay. Find the slope of the line. Okay? So for this one, we could count it. Okay? Remember, it's rise over run, so it looks like it's going down. Okay? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes down 4. Okay? So we know that it's a negative 4 on the top. And then it goes to the right. It goes over to the right 1, 2, 3. So it'd actually be negative 4 over 3. So I'm going to say it's D. But if you wanted to, you could definitely use the slope formula on here. Be y2 minus y1, which would be negative 2 minus 2, which would be negative 4, over top of x2 minus x1, which would be 1 minus negative 2, which would be 1 plus 2, which would be 3. So it'd be negative 4 over 3. Either way, you're getting D as the correct answer. Hopefully. Like I said, Mr. Selby's gotten one problem wrong once before in his life. I think I was like 7. It was like an extreme calculus problem, but luckily I was able to save the astronauts. Nobody was harmed. All right. Determine the slope of any line perpendicular to GH. Okay. Remember what perpendicular means. So if you find the slope of a normal line, right, like normal line slope, if you're trying to find the line that is perpendicular to it, what you want to do is you want to take that slope, take the numbers, and you want to flip them. So if the slope is 3 over 1, you want to flip it to make it 1/3. But you don't just want to stop there. You want to make it a negative. All right. So let's check out this slope. This slope right here is positive, okay? So the thing we're going to be looking for is a negative. So it's either going to be negative 1/3 or -3. You can see because it's positive steepness, positive slope. All right, you're going to be walking uphill here. You're going to be out of breath, okay? From going to H to G, you are going to be breathing heavy. All right, so we can do this math really quick, or we can just count it. Personally, I prefer to do the math. But I know some of you guys, for some reason, you're like, math? What am I going to do math for? But this is a math class, so we're going to do both. Because there's one thing I like doing, is doing them both. Oh, yeah. Double the math, double the fun. All right, so H to G is going to be, the rise is going to be 1, 2, 3. 3 is the rise. The slope over the run is 1. So it's going to be -3, or it's going to be +3 over 1. Okay? Now, that's good. So you're probably like, oh, click on -3. Wrong. This one's -3. Or this one is +3. Okay? We obviously want a negative, but at the same time, we also want the inverse. So that's going to be -1/3. Okay? Might have gotten this one wrong the first time I took this because I forgot to do the inverse. Don't do that. Get this one right. Okay? All right. Which graph shows a line with a slope of -2/3 passing through -1, 0? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to see where is -1, 0. Okay, so that's going to be on the x-axis, on 1 over from the origin on the left-hand side. So it looks like actually all of them are that way. All right, slope is negative. So we're looking for, if we're on the left-hand side, we're going to be walking downhill. Okay, so that means we're only using A or C. All right, A or C, we're going downhill. Let's see which one it is. Okay, so rise is -2. So we're actually going to be going down 2 and then over 3. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then down 2. That one looks like it could be the right answer. Let's hold on to that thought. Let's check out this one. This one looks like it is down 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, 2. What? That looks like it's opposite day. I think it's C. All right. So you're probably looking at, one more thing that we could have done was we definitely could have done like slope-intercept form and everything and gone and done that the mathematical way. We're not going to. Instead, we're just going to hope that Mr. Selby got all of these correct. Grade the quiz. Yes! 5 out of 5. Yeah. Man. Feels even better the third time I've taken it. But what I got to say is, if you had any trouble, any issues with any of this, and you're like, Mr. Selby, I don't understand how to do this. Please help me. Okay. So what you should do is you should reach out via Schoology. You can email me. You can come to my Zoom office hours. Okay. Remember, office hours are always posted on Schoology. If you need any help, or you can call the school at 215-750-2800 extension 3179. All right. Whatever you need to do it. Get in contact. Okay. Reach out to Mr. Selby. I hope everything's going well with you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Good job today.